Even though the history of broadcasting can be traced back to over centuries ago, the South African Broadcasting Corporation, the SABC, was formally established in 1936 with the introduction of radio broadcasting, followed by television in 1976. This was at the time when the apartheid government saw an opportunity to use the SABC as part of its propaganda machinery. And this was evident during the June 16, 1976 Soweto uprising, when young people took a peaceful stand against the apartheid regime, were met by the brutality of the then authorities when the apartheid police used live ammunition against them. Many of the brutal acts were censored by government, using the SABC to downplay the dreadful event.
That is the man who the world has been waiting to see.
When a new democratic South Africa was becoming a reality in the 1990s, the transformation of the SABC as a tool to foster reconciliation and nation building was high on the agenda. The SABC was now at the center of capturing the transformation journey of the March fought for and dreamt about South Africa, where all were equal, a reality that required negotiations and acceptance between former enemies. After the unbanning of political parties, the focus shifted to the first democratic elections, and the SABC was at the front and center to record and broadcast the historic moments. This included the much talked about the Convention for a Democratic South Africa, CODESA, and the multi-party negotiating process in the early 90s.
But he must forget that he can impose conditions on the African National Congress.
So this matter has been dragging along since August 1990.
While the road was being paved for the first democratic elections, the ideal suffered a significant setback. Then SACP General Secretary Chris Hani was assassinated in 1993 at a critical time in South Africa's transition process. Hani's death almost ignited a racial civil war, but the global icon Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela took the stage to calm the nation. Entering uncharted waters, the SABC rose to the occasion, ensuring that Mandela's message to the country was received.
We will not be provoked into any rash actions. We are a nation in mourning.
Despite the sacrifices by so many for the realization of a democratic South Africa, the acceptance of a new reality did not come easy for some. Fast forward to 1994, and the moment many had dreamed about, the first democratic elections, the historic event saw the first black African president being trusted to guide South Africa on its new journey.
His daughter.
The then Truth and Reconciliation Commission, the TRC, took center stage in 1995. Mandela would serve only one term as president and was succeeded by Thabo Mbeki, and Mbeki had his long-term comrade Jacob Zuma as his deputy. Nelson Mandela passed away in 2013 and was honored with a state funeral category 1, which was broadcasted to the public by the SABC. Democratic South Africa also saw some political upheavals, including the breakaway of the relationship between Zuma and Mbeki after the former was recalled as the country's deputy president.
It would be best to release Honorable Jacob Zuma from his responsibilities as Deputy President of the Republic and member of the Cabinet.
I accept and respect his pronouncement.
But this led to Mbeki failing to finish his second term. The 52nd ANC Polokwane Conference also left its mark in the country's history when Zuma, despite his challenges, emerged victorious to become the 13th president of the liberation movement, the ANC. The party has struggled with internal strife from time to time, which resulted in several breakaway parties, the UDM, COPE, the EFF, and recently MK Party. But Zuma's tenure was characterized by dark cloud relating to accusation of corruption and alleged abuse of power, which led to the establishment of the State Capture Commission of Inquiry. Later on, Zuma would suffer the same fate as his predecessor when he also failed to finish his term and was replaced by Cyril Ramaphosa. And just like his predecessor, the current president also found himself on the wrong side of allegations, this time involving the Palapala saga. In 2024, the SABC's coverage of significant events continued as the country went to the polls to elect the 7th Democratic Administration. And for the first time since 1994, the ANC failed to secure an outright majority of votes, something it had enjoyed for decades. The results gave birth to a new government of national unity. Nhlanhla Khatlhane, SABC News, Johannesburg.